Hi, I'm James Blue of the Quad Cities DSA chapter.
My name is Bennett.
I am Megan.
Hello, I'm Aaron.
One of the founding members.
And I'm the co-chair of the Quad Cities DSA Communications and Political Education Committee.
I'm the membership steward of the Quad Cities DSA.
2026 co-chair for Quad Cities DSA here on the Iowa-Illinois border.
We formed this chapter in 2017 because we looked around and we noticed that there was very little representation for true working class issues. And I had recently gotten a new job that had union wages attached to it, and I suddenly felt like a weight had been lifted off of me that I didn't know was on there my entire life. I grew up working class poor. All of my friends and family had always been working class poor. And to just have a little bit of like a livable wage where I could afford a house, I could afford food, I could afford vacation, it felt like I had been living in a dream or a nightmare my whole life. And I wanted everyone to feel this uplifting feeling that I just experienced. And I saw DSA as one of the driving forces behind building something that could bring that to everyone. And so I've been dedicated to it ever since.
I joined DSA less than a year ago because I saw fascists taking over the United States, and I watched what was supposed to be the opposition party often vote unanimously to approve to advance these fascists into greater positions of power. I wanted to do something to resist this encroachment, and the group that seemed willing and able to participate in opposing that kind of advance was the Democratic Socialists of America. And so the reason I joined DSA was to play my part in trying to fight this encroaching American fascism.
And I joined because a few years ago, I'd really been feeling the need to get involved more in the community and local politics. And one big thing that pushed me, I came across a video where a lady was saying in no uncertain terms that no one is coming to save us or your neighbors or your friends or your loved ones. We have to do it. And she basically laid out how to start a political organization or mutual aid network from scratch, which was really overwhelming. But luckily I did a little online searching and came across my local DSA chapter. And ever since getting involved with it has just made me feel more hope, made me feel more like even though things are bad, at least I'm being part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So it's just been hugely meaningful for me to work with the DSA the last few years.
The reason I joined DSA was 11 years ago. I started working at casinos, and it was absolutely horrible what they did to workers. Paid us so low that women couldn't afford to take maternity leave, which is the second saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, after those who couldn't afford to take any leave at all. And the Democratic Party candidate at the time thought a $9 an hour salary, which is what we were starving on, was a good enough salary. But then Bernie Sanders and Democratic Socialism came and fought to make sure workers made $15 an hour and a decent livable wage so that they won't have to go through such appalling things ever again. That's why I joined DSA, and why I hope, just like I did, you go to dsausa.org/join. Thank you.
And if you too would like to join in the fight to bring this sort of peace and comfort to everyone else in the United States, please join at dsausa.org/join and become part of the struggle, brothers and comrades.
Go to dsausa.org/join and become a member today.
Go to dsausa.org/join to become part of it.